Wow, 2 random call sign videos in a week in this economy. Here we have a new Assetto Corsa EVO update. It's not game-changing, and if you come here just for the new content, you are kind of missing the point or the situation of it. So 0.9 brings 3 cars, the Audi R8 V10 Performance Quattro, the Audi R8 GT2, you know, that class that was made specifically for wealthy 50-something guys to have something to race on, or a racing series, and the Bleach Blonde Special Mazda RX-7 FD Spirit R Type A. If they couldn't make the name bigger. This one is for those of you who like Taiwanese cartoons called Initial D, and if you are or not one of those fans, leave a like and subscribe for maximum spinning Doritos and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's it in terms of content. I don't know when the free roam is going to be out there, but I wouldn't be surprised if I look at the performance uplift over the last few updates, if the next couple of updates will actually gonna have it. Okay, this update is going to be, or look, mundane, all things considered, because you're gonna have physics improvements, handling improvements, user interface improvement, except leaving the exits to desktop in the middle of the screen. That's still there for some reason, and all my homies hate that stuff. But we also have render optimizations and global CPU optimizations. We're going to talk about performance in a sec, but as always, as I have been doing for multiple games right now, check your NVIDIA app and have a go with the DLSS models to use, you know, have a go and test them. I found that the preset K is the one that works best for me in NVIDIA 4070. Okay, the cars drive nice, the GT2 drives like a GT2, it's fast as hell, has grip, loses grip. The other R8 is fast, but has some sorts of stability issues as the tires lose grip and the car really wants to oversteer, but it's agile and fun. The RX-7 drives like a hoon, lots of rotation from the nose and rear, very much reminds me of the one in Assetto Corsa. The sound is the same one as in Assetto Corsa, and it's bugged. It really only works on the pits. I really want to use this car against the A86 in Akina Downhill in Assetto Corsa, so Antu Dotsun, if you're around, talk to me. We can probably do something and put this into Assetto Corsa, because there's already a tool that allows you to bring tracks over into Assetto Corsa EVO. But anyways, I don't think that the content is really worthwhile to go in depth, because I think, as it has been the case for a while right now, the content overshadows the rest of Assetto Corsa and the state of it, and it shouldn't. The content in this update, for me, most of the time tends to be secondary unless it's a really big thing, because the state of the title is the big deal. It's the reason why you come back to the title, or let you or not let you enjoy Assetto Corsa EVO. In this case, EVO as a driving platform is actually in a decent state, and I mean just as a driving platform. Graphically, it looks okay. It needs more controls for the post-processing filter. Sometimes it looks a little bit washed in green. It's performing much better. I get with 30 cars and the LAA at 1440p with some high settings, some ultra settings, in between 100 to 160 FPS depending on track and number of cars. Dropping the DLSS to high quality, it gets even better, though DLSS weirdness appears and requires some tuning in the multi-sample anti-aliasing choices. Otherwise, not much gain in terms of FPS, and there's a lot of quality weirdness around. This uplift in performance we've had is really needed, because, well, free roam be needing them FPS like I need them likes and subscribes. If game not optimized, game stutters, driver side. I hope what they have right now is enough, and I still think they need some sort of roadside object sliders to remove some objects in the track, increase FPS, and maybe remove some swinging arms flailing mans around. Because this is such a small update with so small pieces of content, it ends up doing a disservice to the driving feel EVO has at the moment. And that's generally the thing I want to sit on for a second, because I think the story of EVO nobody will be talking about, and I know that because I have the world exclusive on this, so says my headcanon. The game drives and feels really good right now. I'll start with force feedback. It feels great in my Podium DD and Clipsport DD+. Shill alert, Fanatec employee here, affiliate below, use code random5 for 5% discount. It may be sacrilege to say, and I will have the Church of the Flying Spaghetti force feedback monster in the comments, I'm preferring this right now, force feedback wise, to the original Assetto Corsa. I feel more connected to driving, and yeah, I know there will be some rabble below. You know, keep rabbling. I do need the engagement. After messing around with the new stuff, I did something I hadn't done in a while in this topic or in this game, because, you know, it's just 2, 3, 4 cars and then you go to another game. I just went back through the roster and start driving. I wasn't really looking at something specific. I wasn't going to make a video about it or anything, and you know, the AI still sucks, but you know, car after car after car, what hit me is that every single one of them actually felt really good. There is this thing that the best sims do where the car just feels connected and it feels like an extension of what you are asking of the car to do. And with Assetto Corsa EVO right now, it has that communication in a way that it didn't feel for me like 3 months ago or in 0.8, and it feels consistently in every single car. It doesn't matter if it's a hot hatch, and hot hatches are amazing in this game, or a GT2 or a GT3. You get in, you do a lap, and you understand the car. That is harder to achieve than it sounds, and I think Kunos does deserve credit for it. And the hot hatches in particular, and I know they are not really the most glamorous things out there. Everybody wants the supercar and not the Hyundai i30N. Even though I really want a Hyundai i30N, they feel really good. There's really great weight transfer as you throw them into a corners. There's like playfulness at the limit. They almost want to go sideways when you push it, and even though they're not fast cars in the straight line, they have this amazing character. They reward you for being a bit cheeky with them. They punish you if you are really too greedy, and that push-pull and that feeling back and forth with the car, it's really great. It keeps asking you to commit for more, and EVO is doing it really well. Even with the BMW E30 or the Mercedes as well, everything feels nice. It just feels that they want you to drive the cars. What all of this tells me is that the physics improvements in these updates, as boring as they sound in the changelog, are really doing a lot of work under the surface. You're not going to see it in a screenshot. You're really not going to see it anywhere else. You know, a line, the cars drive really nice. But that gap between how small the update looks on paper and how good the game actually feels to drive is exactly why I think people are sleeping on where EVO is right now. And I understand that it still doesn't have the free roam. Besides the free roam, one issue that is going to plague this game for a while is basically the GT3s, because everybody has GT3 Stockholm Syndrome, because ACC left big shoes to be filled. In that sense, Assetto Corsa EVO, because of it, is fractured, but whole in others. I wouldn't be surprised that SRO comes back in some form, but if it comes back, the GT3s will need to have a lot of polish and leveling in the way they had in ACC, for example, in terms of systems. I don't think there's a game that still beats Assetto Corsa Competizione in terms of how the traction control works. Driving-wise, ACC felt better for these cars in some ways, but I'm liking the suspension in EVO much more, and the progression of the tires as well, so there's gonna be a little tuning needed. I've already spoken way too long about this. To finish this, in short, is that even though you're going to see the small improvements in the changelog, it's basically now compounding. The game is still in a place that is very incomplete. I'm still very mad about the fact that they removed the game part of Assetto Corsa EVO, but the driving is in a very good position. So even if you install it just to check the cars and new stuff, go and drive something else. Also, like and subscribe, touch some grass. Hopefully it rains and that grass gets green, because my grass is completely yellow right now, and I will see you in the next one.